A ship was found drifting in the Pacific, entire crew dead, faces frozen in pure terror. Eyes locked on something that wasn't there anymore. Before investigators could figure out what killed them, the vessel exploded and sank. That's number 1 on today's list. But we're starting with number 9. Let's get right into it. Number 9. The drifting dinner party. Picture this: a massive yacht floating dead in the water, tables set for 12. Food still warm on the plates. That is what happened with the cast off Australia's coast in 2007. The boat was cruising along just fine, sails up, engine running. Laptop still on with weather charts pulled up, but all 3 crew members gone. Vanished like they'd been raptured mid-meal. There's actually a whole community of maritime investigators obsessed with these cases. They call them Mary Celeste events, and they catalog every weird detail like true crime junkies. The Cas II had its emergency systems untouched. Life jackets still hanging. It's like everyone just decided to go for a swim at the exact same moment and forgot to come back. Here's where it gets creepy. The boat had been sailing itself for 3 days, just drifting around like a ghost at a party, bumping into nothing, going nowhere. It's like finding a car running in a driveway with the driver's coffee still hot, but nobody home. Investigators found fishing lines still in the water, a laptop open to a weather page, and the radio left on. One guy's GPS was on deck like he dropped it mid-thought. The real kicker: this wasn't rough weather or pirates or anything dramatic. It was calm seas, perfect conditions, experienced sailors. Medical examiners never found the bodies. They just disappeared. Some folks think a rogue wave grabbed them all at once. Others figure one fell and the other jumped in to save him. And nobody thought to stop the boat first. But honestly, nobody knows. It's like the ocean just decided to collect 3 people that day and kept the boat as a souvenir. Number 8. The frozen time capsule. Imagine boarding a ship and finding everyone's stuff exactly where they left it. But the crew's been gone for 130 years. The Octavius was found drifting near Greenland in 1775, frozen solid. With the entire crew dead at their posts, the captain was at his desk, pen still in his frozen hand, mid-entry in his logbook. His wife and kid were in the cabin, frozen like statues under blankets. Maritime historians go absolutely nuts for these cases. There's forums where people argue about every detail for hours. They analyze the ice patterns, the clothing, what people were doing when they died. It's like CSI but for ships from the 1700s. The Octavius guys were apparently trying to find the Northwest Passage, got stuck in ice, and just froze to death waiting for spring. Here's the thing that makes your skin crawl. The ship had been drifting for 13 years, just circling around in the current like a floating tomb, perfectly preserved. It's like if your house got frozen with you in it and then just rolled around the neighborhood. For over a decade, the crew that found it was so freaked out they only grabbed the logbook and bounced. They didn't even take the valuable cargo because nobody wanted cursed ghost ship money. The captain's last log entry was from 1762. By the time anyone found the Octavius, everyone who knew these people were dead too. The whole ship became a time capsule that nobody asked for. And get this, the crew that discovered it reported that the ship appeared and disappeared in the fog like it was playing peekaboo. Some of them swore they saw it years later, still drifting, still frozen. Though that was probably just sailors being superstitious after seeing something that traumatizing. Number 7. The perfect abandonment. The High Aim 6 was found off Taiwan in 2003, just vibing in the ocean, with absolutely nobody on board. But here's what makes it insane. Everything was in perfect order. The engine was off correctly. The anchor was properly stowed. Dishes were washed and put away. It's like the crew did all their chores and then evaporated. You don't just abandon ship that neatly unless you're planning to come back. There's a whole network of salvage crews who trade stories about these vessels. They've got rankings for weirdest finds, like it's some kind of bizarre competition. The High Aim 6 scored high because of how normal everything looked. No signs of struggle, no storm damage, no reason to leave. It's like coming home and finding your roommate gone, but all their stuff organized and labeled. For you, the ship had been floating around for weeks, just cruising on currents like it was on vacation. Taiwanese authorities found it 160 miles offshore, completely seaworthy, totally empty. The weird part, the crew's belongings were still there: clothes, photos, personal items. Nobody packs the light when they're abandoning ship. You at least grab your wallet, right? Investigators think maybe the crew got picked up by another vessel. But why? And why not take anything? And why leave everything so tidy? It's like they knew they were leaving forever and wanted to impress whoever found it. The ship sat in impound for months, while authorities tried to track down the owners, but it was registered to a shell company that didn't exist. Just a perfectly good ship with a perfectly mysterious backstory, sailing itself to nowhere for no reason. The ocean just keeps doing the stuff, serving up riddles nobody can solve. Number 6. The lifeboat paradox. The Caraway. Deering ran aground off North Carolina in 1921 with all its lifeboats missing, but everything else untouched. Food was cooking on the stove. Personal belongings were in cabins. The ship's log was gone, but charts were laid out for the next day's journey. It's like the crew evacuated in a hurry but had time to clean up first. Make it make sense. Paranormal enthusiasts and maritime historians have been fighting about this one for over a century. There's entire books written about it, documentaries, conspiracy theories about pirates and Soviet spies. The Deering crowd treats it like the JFK assassination of ghost ships. Everyone's got a theory, nobody's got proof, and the arguments get heated. Here's what drives people crazy. Multiple ships disappeared in that same area, within weeks of each other. The Deering wasn't alone. It's like the Bermuda Triangle was having a special promotion. In 1921, 10 vessels went missing around the same time, all under weird circumstances. Some folks think it was pirates from the Caribbean. Others blame rum runners during Prohibition. The theories range from plausible to absolutely unhinged. The ship itself was in perfect condition when they found it. It had run aground gently, almost deliberately, like someone parked it there. The crew of 11 just vanished. No bodies, no evidence of violence, no distress signals. Coast Guard investigations found nothing except a growing sense of what the hell happened here. The ship had been sailing from South America back to Virginia, a routine trip for experienced sailors. But somewhere along the way, everyone decided to peace out via lifeboats and never came back. The vessel sat there like a museum piece, waves lapping at its hull, keeping all its secrets locked inside. Number 5. The Bermuda Triangle Special. The Witchcraft disappeared off Miami in 1967. And this one's genuinely bonkers. The captain radioed the Coast Guard saying he'd hit something and needed a tow. He said they were in no danger, just inconvenienced. Coast Guard arrived 19 minutes later to find absolutely nothing. No debris, no boat, no people. Just empty ocean, like the Witchcraft had been photoshopped out of reality. The Bermuda Triangle people went absolutely feral over this one. There's conventions where they discuss it. This case gets brought up like it's the smoking gun. For every paranormal theory from aliens to underwater portals, the Witchcraft crowd is intense, cataloging every detail about the boat, the owner, the weather that night, like they're building a legal case against the ocean itself. This wasn't some rusty trawler either. This was a luxury cabin cruiser, basically unsinkable, with all the safety equipment you could want. The owner, Dan Burke, was an experienced sailor who'd made this exact trip dozens of times. He had a guest with him, Father Patrick Horgan, and they'd just gone out for a quick harbor cruise to see Christmas lights. They were literally a mile offshore. You could practically swim to the beach from where they were. The radio call was calm, professional, no panic. Burke said they'd hit something, maybe a submerged object, but the boat was stable and they'd be fine waiting. Then silence. Coast Guard searched for 6 days, covered 24,000 square miles, found nothing. No oil slick, no wreckage, no bodies, no life jackets. It's like the ocean opened up, swallowed them, and Burke, The Witchcraft was designed with built-in flotation chambers that made it physically impossible to sink. Yet somehow, in 19 minutes, in calm seas, within sight of Miami's lights, it and the people just stopped existing. Number 4. The Eternal Drifter. The Joya was found adrift near Fiji in 1955, listing heavily, half submerged, but still afloat. All 25 people on board vanished. Here's the nightmare fuel. The ship was covered in blood. Not like a little bit, like someone had been hurt badly. The canopy was ripped, there were bullet holes, and a doctor's bag was found open with bloody bandages scattered around. It looked like a horror movie set that the actors just walked off from. Unsolved mystery forums have been dissecting this one for decades. There's people who've spent years trying to track down relatives of passengers, analyzing weather patterns, studying the ship's weird design. The Joya was poorly maintained, had been taking on water, and probably shouldn't have been at sea at all. But that doesn't explain where everyone went or why it looked like a crime scene. The ship could float even when flooded because of cork lining in the hull. So it just kept drifting, half sunk but somehow still going. For 37 days before anyone found it, it traveled 600 miles off course, just wandering around the Pacific like a drunk person looking for their car. Radio was tuned to distress frequency but never used. 3 tons of cargo was missing. 4 of the 5 life rafts were gone. Investigators think maybe the ship started sinking and everyone panicked and left in the lifeboats. But the blood, the bullet holes, nobody's sure if those were from the incident or earlier damage. Some think pirates attacked them. Others figure the crew mutinied against the captain, who was known to be difficult. The running theory is they all got in lifeboats, drifted away, and died at sea. But bodies would wash up eventually, right? 25 people don't just dissolve. The ocean took them all and left their floating nightmare behind, as a warning that we don't actually know what happens out there. Number 3. The impossibly neat exit. The Zebrina was found perfectly beached near the English coast in 1917, sails still set, everything ship-shape, but 0 crew. This was during World War I, so everyone immediately thought German submarines, but there was no damage, none. The ship had sailed itself onto the beach like it was parking. The cargo of coal was untouched. The breakfast dishes were still on the table. It's like the crew saw something scary, jumped off, and the boat just kept going without them. War historians and mystery buffs have created entire timelines trying to solve this. They've got theories about German U-boats, French spies, rogue waves, even mass hallucinations. The Zebrina case gets taught in maritime schools as an example of how much we still don't understand about the sea. Everyone's got an opinion. Most of them involve drama and intrigue that probably didn't happen. Here is what makes it extra weird. The Zebrina had been sailing in a convoy area, where other ships would be seen something if there'd been an attack. But nobody reported anything unusual. The 5 crew members just ceased to exist somewhere between the English coast and France. The ship traveled on autopilot basically, drifted for days, and gently nosed itself onto the beach like it was coming home. The leading theory is a German submarine surfaced, took the crew prisoner, and let the ship go. But there's no German records of that. Others think a sudden wave washed everyone overboard at once. But the ship shows no signs of massive water coming aboard. The coal was stacked neatly. Nothing shifted or disturbed. It's too perfect to be a disaster and too weird to be normal. 5 guys vanished in the middle of wartime chaos, and their ship sailed itself to safety like it was trying to tell someone what happened, but couldn't talk. Number 2. The Mary Celeste. This is the granddaddy of them all. The Mary Celeste was found in 1870 floating between Portugal and the Azores, completely abandoned. The cargo was intact. 6 months of food and water on board, everyone's belongings still in cabins. But all 10 people gone. The ship's only lifeboat was missing, but there's no good reason why they leave. No storm damage, no leaks, no violence. They just bailed on a perfectly seaworthy vessel in the middle of the Atlantic. The Mary Celeste has its own Wikipedia page that's longer than most celebrity Bios. There's been books, movies, songs, and about 1,000,000 theories. It's the gold standard of maritime mysteries. Everyone from serious historians to flat earthers has an opinion on this one. Some think the crew was grabbed by a giant squid. Others figure alcohol fumes from the cargo made them hallucinate. The theories get progressively wilder the more you read. Here's the detail that haunts people. The ship's chronometer and sextant were missing, but not much else. That suggests the crew left intentionally with navigation tools. But the ship's log ended abruptly with no explanation. The last entry was routine, normal, boring. Then nothing. The captain's wife and 2-year-old daughter were on board too, and he was known to be cautious and experienced. He wouldn't abandon ship without serious cause. What really happened? Nobody knows. The popular theory is the alcohol cargo started leaking fumes. The captain thought the ship might explode, so everyone got in the lifeboat to wait it out. Then either the lifeboat sank or drifted away and they died at sea. But that's just a guess. The Mary Celeste sailed on for weeks by itself through storms and calm seas, until another ship spotted it just cruising along. They boarded it, found everything normal except for the missing people, and spent the next 150 years wondering what the hell happened. It's the mystery that launched 1,000 ghost ship stories. And we're still no closer to the truth than we were in 1872. Number 1. The Orang Medan. Buckle up because this one's genuinely disturbing. In 1947, multiple ships near Indonesia picked up distress signals from the Orang Medan. The message was chilling. All officers, including captain, are dead, lying in chart room and bridge. Possibly whole crew dead. Then silence. Then one final transmission. I die. When rescue ships arrived, they found the entire crew dead, faces frozen in terror, eyes wide open, arms pointing at something that wasn't there anymore. The ship's dog was dead too, teeth bared mid-snarl. This case has spawned entire subcultures of conspiracy theorists. People think it was poisonous gas, chemical weapons, aliens, interdimensional portals, you name it. The Orang Medan crowd makes Bigfoot hunters look reasonable. There's debates about whether the ship even existed since records are sketchy, but multiple witnesses reported the same story. So something happened out there. The mystery has inspired horror movies and countless Reddit threads. Here is where it goes from weird to burn the ocean. Everyone was dead with expressions of absolute terror, but there were no wounds, no signs of struggle. Just corpses staring at nothing, frozen mid-scream. The rescue crew said the temperature below deck was over 110 degrees despite cool outside weather, and they reported feeling an overwhelming sense of dread, like the ship itself was warning them to leave. Before they could investigate further, fires broke out in the cargo hold. The ship exploded and sank, taking all evidence with it. Convenient, right? The popular theory is the Orang Medan was smuggling chemical weapons or experimental nerve agents. A leak killed everyone instantly while triggering hallucinations. The cargo then combusted and destroyed the evidence. But there is no proof. The ship might not have even been real. The name doesn't appear in official registries. Some think it's a sailor's legend that got reported as fact. But here's what keeps people up at night. Multiple ships witnessed the distress calls. Rescue crews boarded and saw the bodies. Photos allegedly exist but have never been released. If it was all fake, why? And if it was real, what killed everyone in a way that left them looking terrified of something invisible? The ocean is massive and mostly unexplored. And maybe there's things out there we're not supposed to find. The Orang Medan either proved that or it's the greatest maritime hoax ever. Either way, it's the nightmare scenario every sailor fears, dying alone at sea, face frozen in terror, with nobody ever knowing why. That's all for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future. Subscribe to see them.